Hi everyone, I just wanted to hop on for this week's Alternative Healing Thursday lesson, and I really wanted to talk about energetic strands. And because also, not only are they interesting, but they really do affect a lot of us. So what are they? They are really like almost like an umbilical cord that we have. We have that to our mother. It's an attachment, but instead of like physical flesh, it's made out of energy, right? So some of these are good and some of these are bad because obviously we have attachment to good things. We also have attachment to bad things and bad events, and we can have them to objects, which is why I am a huge believer in decluttering. And a lot of the times we cannot let certain items go in our home because we have a physical attachment to them. I mean, an energetic attachment to them, making it ridiculously hard to let go of them, right? Because there is some type of association with it. And I really find that energetic strands are developed when there is obviously some type of emotion there, right? You're not going to be walking on the street and then all of a sudden get an energetic strand attachment to everyone that you walk past, right? It's something with emotion behind it, someone that you've met, someone that has had an effect on you, someone that you are related to. We can even have them to people of the past, our ancestors. That's why there is a lot of hype on ancestral healing right now. Things can be passed down from generation to generation to generation, whether it's with beliefs or sometimes it's beliefs that create illnesses, or sometimes just those traumatic experiences are passed down, and I think we are being called right now to heal them. But anyways, I know I always tend to rant a little bit, but some of these are good, right? When we have positive relationships, right? We want to strengthen them, but some of them are bad. So again, you can have them to objects, which this can be good or bad. Your home can energize you, or your home can seriously kill all of your energy. You can have energetic cords to events. These could be positive events, or these could be negative events. And every time you kind of think of these events, whether they are good or bad, they energize you or they de-energize you. So we're kind of talking about energetic vampires versus energizers, right? There's a very big difference. And I know that you should be able to tell when you think of two different things. Like if you think of the happiest moment of your life versus when you think of the saddest moment of your life. And you can kind of tell the strengths as well, the strengths of your feelings, because sometimes I find that I tend to remember the sadder, more heavier emotioned events or people even more so than I do happier moments. And I know that it is because I still have a very strong energetic cord attached to those things, and it takes work to release them, right? Healing the past, but also forgiving and letting go, and that takes a lot of effort. Not to say that my happy events weren't extremely happy. It's just for some reason the ego tends to cling on to negative events more so. I don't know why they are much more memorable. But anyways, so you can have them to people too. People that you love, people that have, that you also dislike, especially exes, right? Especially when you share your body with someone else, that creates an energetic cord. And if you do not if you don't work to cut that cord, you still have all these attachments to past lovers, right? Or family members that have hurt you in the past. And you can also have energetic cords to places, right? Where you grew up versus where you are now. There are roots, there are energetic cords tying you to those places. I also believe that we have them in previous lives as well, like attachments to places and people. If you've ever met someone and you're like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I know them, right? But you've never known them before. You've never met them before. Or someone like me, I find this like really, really, really strong connection to New Zealand. And I have never been there before. I am from Massachusetts. I have never gone to New Zealand, but something about New Zealand, I'm just like, why the hell am I in Massachusetts in the United States? Like, I need to go there. And that's because, like I said, I've never been there. So I don't know if it was my last life or maybe the one before that, but I have a huge connection to New Zealand. So I have an energetic cord there. And it makes me happy when I think about it. Like, you can tell kind of which chords are stronger, right? Like if you think of your husband or your wife or someone that you're dating, like you get really happy when you think of your puppy, or your child. I'm sure you get really happy. But then if you start adding in these other people, maybe it's a mother-in-law, maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a sibling sometimes that you don't like. If you just even think about them, just like that strength that comes up immediately, you can tell how thick and like murky they can be. And energetic strands can be very vibrant. They can be thin. They can be really thick. They can be, almost evil or like grotesque looking, or they can be very divine looking. You can also, unfortunately, have energetic strands to entities or something that is of lower vibration, and that doesn't normally happen with normal, healthy people. That normally happens when you are on the same vibrational level as them, and that tends to happen with people that have done a lot of drugs or alcohol abuse. So, because drugs and alcohol really, really, really lower your vibration. So when you tend to abuse that, that's when you can start to invite in even darker things, which is why sometimes people can really go to a dark place, when they end up getting addicted or on their way to get to become addicted. So Katrina, I know that you're here. I was just reading off of not reading off my notes, but just trying to get all the information out before I forget it. So you say, I have a few cords that really need to be cut still. Is it possible to cut a bad cord with a current relationship? Yes, there's, I'm going to talk about throughout the upcoming weeks, how we're working with cords, how we can dissolve them, things that can help us. But today I just really wanted to talk about what exactly they are. But we do all have a lot of energetic cords, and yes, we can cut them ourselves, and we can learn how to, and I will share that information with you. But also, some of them take some time, right? Some of them are thicker and harder than others, and it's going to take practice, because you also need some type of alignment where you might cut a cord and then the emotions might not be so intense, but then you start to think of this person again and it like almost recreates a new energetic cord, right? So we kind of have to learn how to cut, but also then protect ourselves like going forward. So I will talk about that over the upcoming Thursdays. So some of these cords can be strengthened by thoughts, right? I've been experiencing this week, which is why I wanted to talk about energetic cords this week. It's like when you keep thinking about an event or something that someone did, or and it might be good and it might be bad. My associations with the things that I'm struggling with right now are bad, and I keep replaying them in my head, and I keep getting more and more angry. And this is what the problem is it gives away not only your energy, but it's starting to strengthen that cord. So that cord is you can think of it like as it's either adding energy or it's taking away. But there was obviously something very deep and emotional, and usually the heavy emotions like sadness, anger, despair, abandonment, those type of things tend to be very thick cords, as well as those that are very powerful on the opposite end of the spectrum, like really, really happy, super duper like in love, right? Those tend to be the things that pull at us the most. So from what I know from shadow work is that you actually cannot really experience love and happiness at its full potential until you really honor and not get rid of, but like kind of really dive into those dark emotions as well. Okay, so this is what we're going to be talking about in the upcoming weeks. But also, like on the other end of the spectrum, with the thoughts, sometimes you think like, oh, like my best friend, I haven't talked to her in like a month because life gets busy. So all of a sudden, you think of her, and then they end up texting you or they call, right? We've all had that happen, I'm sure. And it's because your strand, your connection to that person was activated. And that's why these type of things happen. It's not a coincidence. It's some type of like energetic alert system, which is also very scary when we think about the negative associations that we have with someone, right? And those negative strands, when we think about them and these emotions get us angry, that ends up energizing them as well. So you are not winning by having these negative cords, right? You need to get rid of them because you're only energizing the other person and you're giving away your energy to them. And again, that can be both good and bad, right? Let's see. Oh, and another way that they can be strengthened too is obviously quality time with the good ones, right? You build a relationship with a spouse or a significant other or someone that you are dating, or perhaps you're dating multiple people, or you have a lot of friends. The more time, the more effort you spend with people, the deeper your emotions become and the stronger the energetic cords become as well. So next week, I would like to continue on this information. I'd love to hear from you if you have any questions or anything that you can think of. But with everything, like the stronger the cord, the stronger the trauma, or even the stronger the love once was. Those cords can be harder to get rid of, but we can get rid of them, and I will teach you how to do that. But it obviously takes practice. It's not going to happen just once. But if I could give you homework for this week, I would kind of have you start to look around your home and write down things that you have an attachment to. I mean, what's the number one thing that everyone has an attachment to? This is like our phones are, like my little puppy. Our phones are something that we are literally attached to, right? When we have addictions, like I had a nicotine vape pen, right? And I was attached to it. And when it wasn't in my like sphere, I used to like freak out because I needed that nicotine. What else? The animals in your house, the people in your house, but also the rooms in your house you can have energetic cords, whether they're good or bad. Not so much like good or bad, like good versus evil. It's just like some things are higher vibrations and some things are lower vibrations. So look around your home, look at all the people that you have been associated to up until this point. Start writing down things and people that you might have and even places that you might have good associations with and bad associations with it as well. And we will continue this on the following week. But thank you so much for watching this, and I will be talking to you guys soon. Bye, everyone. Thank you.